I'd next like to introduce you to your new incoming president, Steve Steinberg. I've known Steve for 5 or 10 years now. Steve is a litigator with the firm of Vasquez, Benesek, and Lindgren in Lafayette. They do high-end intellectual property litigation. He's also obviously the proud father of 2 children who are sitting at the table here. I've known Steve primarily through our joint service on the board of directors. And over these years, I've come to know Steve as a very bright, very articulate, energetic, creative, and hard-working individual. He's done a number of fine things for our board, including being one of the primary architects of our new website several years ago, which I'm sure you all find a vast improvement over the last one we had, and very easy to use. Steve is also very involved with what is called the Conference of California Bar Associations. It used to be called the Conference of Delegates in terms of proposing new legislation for our state. And with that, I'd like to welcome and give a big round of applause to Steve Steinberg, your new bar president.
Thank you very much. Thanks for being here today. The first order of business, it's my pleasure to recognize our outgoing president, Jay Chaffetz, for his tireless efforts on behalf of the bar over the past decade or more. Jay spent several years as the chair of the litigation section, and in all fairness to Jay, there were times where he was the entire board of the litigation section. He planned some great events in that position. I still remember when he did the trial skills seminar, which is one of our best attended MCLE events outside of the MCLE Spectacular that we've ever had, and he was instrumental in that. Over the past 8 years, he's been a dedicated board member and then an officer, and most recently served as our president. He was heavily involved last year in planning the Discovery Facilitator Program, which really helped our courts avoid grinding to a halt in the wake of recent budget cuts. He also helped plan our first annual bench bar softball game barbecue last year, which we're hoping to repeat this year, although we had a few injuries, and so we'll see about that. But I think when I think about Jay's presidency, there are 2 things that really stand out for me, 2 qualities that I think really set him apart. One, and I think every board member who has served with him can attest to this, is that he runs a snappy meeting. And I think everyone here would probably agree that most organizations have too many meetings, they last too long, and you get too little done. Not true when Jay is at the helm. He always made sure if we were having a meeting, there was a reason to do it. We had an agenda, we stuck to it. We didn't waste any time, we didn't spend any more time than was required to get the task done. And all of us as busy lawyers and people with other things going on, families, really, really appreciated that. And the other thing that stands out to me for Jay is that he always has looked out for the best interests of the bar as a whole, both in terms of our membership, always asking what's best for all of our members, not just a small group or even a large group within the membership, but all of our members, and also asking what's best for the Bar Association in terms of the community and the public, and preserving our good reputation within the local community and the public at large. And he always placed that above everything else, and I really admired that about him. So I want to thank Jay for his many years of service to the bar and his exemplary year as president. And we have here a plaque to present to him. And it says, Jay Chaffetz, 2013 president, in recognition of your dedication and insightful leadership. So thank you, Jay. Let's give him a round. So at this time, I want to acknowledge our board members and our many section leaders who are here in attendance today. And then we're going to go ahead and get sworn in by our presiding judge, Barry Good. So please, as I read your names, if you could stand up and stay standing until we all take the oath together. First, our president-elect, Nick Casper, our secretary, Candace Stoddard, our treasurer, Elva Harding, our president ex officio, Jay Chaffetz, and the members at large of our board of directors, Phil Anderson, Dean Barbieri, Amanda Bevins, Oliver Bray, Danae Buddy, Mary Carey, Michelle Ferber, Renee Livingston, Catherine Wenger, and James Wu. I think actually James wasn't able to make it today. Did I miss anybody who's here today? I don't think so. Okay. And then I also want to recognize our section leaders. You know, we often say that the sections are the lifeblood of the bar. It's absolutely true, and we really appreciate your section leadership. So our section leaders who are in attendance today: David Arrieta from the bankruptcy section, Paul Bonner from the family law section, Mary Carey from the criminal law section, who's also a board member, Mark Frisbee from the estate planning and probate section, Michelle Lane from the employment section, Peter Mankin from the ADR section, Andrew McCall from the solo and small firm section, Doris Mitchell from West County, Rebecca Harris and Jennifer Naval from the law student section, the co-chairs, Marissa Nevinzal and Jeffrey Steele, co-chairs of the litigation section, Christine Ortega from the tax section, Ken Parr from the business law and corporate counsel section, Samantha Sepper, co-chair of the pro bono section, Gary Watt from the appellate section, Stuart West, intellectual property section, and Crystal Vanderputten from the women's section. And at this time I want to introduce our presiding judge, Barry Good. Most of you realize we're very lucky to have Judge Good at the helm in this difficult time with all the budget crises we've had to deal with. And he's really done a masterful job of guiding our local courts through that. And we also, I'm pleased to say, have a great bench-bar relationship between the Contra Costa Bar and the bench. And that's in thanks in no small part to Judge Good's efforts. So let me invite him up here to administer the oath of office, and then he'll also give a brief state of the court update.